Paul, first of all, congratulations. I'm reading here that you had quite a strong start on the FTSE 100 earlier today. Perhaps you can tell us how the rest of the trading session was.
Thanks, Fifi. Yeah, it's gone very well. Our share price has been very strong. In fact, it's been strong for the last month in the run-up to this listing. But today was great.
So you listed at a... Apologies there. You listed at a price, correct me if I'm wrong, of 120 pence. Where did it finish?
Yeah, we actually listed at about 114 pence and ended up at 120 pence.
Right. Paul, explain to me exactly what this specialist fund segment is on the LSE.
It's a subsector of the LSE. We qualify for the premium segment, segment of the LSE if we had 25% of our investors in the EEA, the European Economic Area. We have about 7% in the European Economic Area. So we're on the specialist fund segment, which doesn't have that requirement. And as soon as we get to 25%, we'll go on to the premium sector. But there's no real difference. It's just a subsector of the main board, London Stock Exchange.
And remind us again what the strategy was to list in London.
Well, over the last year, we've bought a lot of UK multi-let industrial property. And multi-let industrial property is doing exceptionally well in the UK, and we've decided to become a focused specialist business in multi-let industrial UK property. So we are going to be selling all of our German and Swiss properties in our central London offices and becoming 100% UK multi-let industrial. And as such, we thought it appropriate to be on the London Stock Exchange because there's a lot of appetite from UK investors and UK fund managers who want to get into that sector.
Are there any macroeconomic headwinds that are a risk to your growth strategy? I mean, here in South Africa, Brexit is the first thing that comes to mind for me, but perhaps you can paint a clearer picture.
We think this is relatively Brexit-proof. It's the small industrial units. We believe there's a structural change taking place in the number of occupiers and the type of occupiers for the space. Everyone's talking about last mile distribution and logistics as a result of e-commerce and internet retailing. But what's really taking place is there are thousands of small businesses who now find it easier to operate from small industrial units doing their business. And as such, the demand is going up substantially. And it's really servicing the people who live in the UK economy. They're not import-export businesses as such. They're small businesses. The average tenant pays £18,000 a year, and it represents 1 to 2% of their turnover. So these are all the businesses that service the local economy and spread right across the country. So we think it's relatively Brexit-proof in that sense. Obviously, if there's a big recession in the UK, that would have an impact, but that's sort of going to have an impact across the board, really.
And Paul, now that you're in London and you are looking to, access deeper capital pockets there, what's in the pipeline? What should shareholders look forward to in the immediate future?
Well, firstly, we're going to be buying more of this multi-let and becoming a focused business in multi-let. Secondly, in order to be in this type of property, you have to have scale and you have to have a very good management team and platform in place, and we're investing significantly in technology to assist us, and we're changing the way in which the management of this is being done, more moving towards the WeWork of multi-let industrial, if you like, offering much more flexibility, offering other services, giving people, for example, a 3-page lease rather than a 45-page traditional lease, giving them maximum flexibility that they can break their notice periods that are 6 months instead of 5 years, no repairing obligations. All they have to do is pay a little more for the flexibility. It's kind of the WeWork model that we're going to bring to the multi-let industrial space.
And your listing on the JSE, is that your primary listing now that the listing in Bermuda has ceased? And if it is the primary listing, do you intend to keep it this way?
It's technically called a primary listing. We have a primary listing on the JSE. There isn't such a thing as primary or secondary on the market in the London Stock Exchange. So that's just a plain listing. Our plan is to keep the Johannesburg listing and keep it as a primary listing, and also maintain our listing on the London Stock Exchange.